You also think women need to be submissive and to pick a guy that's worthy of being submitted to, and then let him take the lead in the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Guy that's worthy of being submitted to. I think that's valid, but then Andrew, I feel like Andrew has qualms with this because he'll be like, well, who are you to make the determination what is or is not I think leadership? But I don't know if I fully agree with that. I mean, obviously it has to be, you're not going to just date anybody. Like, it has to be the right guy for you, but I don't know. Go ahead. You were going to say?
When it comes to a man being worthy to submit it to, is someone who shares your values and who is, honest and kind and has your best interests at heart. So even when you don't agree with him, at the end of the day, he has the final say, because you trust that he's making the best decision for you guys.
So who here, for the whole panel, she says, look, you might have disagreements, and you adhere more to a traditional relationship dynamic. If you have a disagreement, somebody has to be the tiebreaker. Somebody has to make the final determination. And she says that should be the man. Do you agree or disagree with this?
In any sense, or like with kids?
Everything. He gets final say. If you guys just can't come to an agreement, he gets final say. Are you for it?
In an ideal world, yeah. I haven't met a man that I feel obligated or interested in doing that for, but I would love to, for sure.
Okay.
No, because I feel like it's circumstantial. Like, if under certain circumstances, yes, he can be the one to have the final word and stuff, especially if he's more educated or experienced on the matter, But if it's something like we have kids and you're telling me what to do with our daughter who's going through like her period or something that you've never dealt with, then obviously, no, I'm going to have the final say-so on,
Do you think that he would care about having the final say on something like that?
Maybe.
Because
sometimes.
when you're talking about authority and leadership, generally, if you're the CEO of a company, you defer roles to people. You're not wearing every single hat. So with something like that would just be an obvious thing that it's your thing. But then to say about how to deal with a period.
Well, sometimes men do feel entitled to that, especially when it's their children. I'll give like an example. T.I., if you guys know the rapper T.I., he was ridiculed because he went to the gynecologist with one of his daughters and wanted to know if she was still a virgin or something like that. So, and then like in that aspect, do you have a say-so as a mother?
Well, that's a different thing. If he wants to know if his daughter's still a virgin, as opposed to telling her how to handle a period.
But I mean, it's kind of similar in a sense.
Well, no, a father definitely has a say in whether or not in his daughter's chastity and instilling those values in her, for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think it's a way to go about it. Like, you could talk to your kids or things like that, like to just go to the gynecologist with her, especially like I don't think she was like under 18 anymore. I think she was over 18 by that time. But besides the point, like I don't care either way, but it's like, some things you guys just don't know about and you shouldn't have the final say. So like even like with the laws about women's bodies and stuff like that, like abortion laws, the Plan B pill, things like that, like it's a man who got the final say so on that, not a woman.
So you're of the opinion that a man shouldn't have any say in whether a woman can have an abortion?
I never said any say, but I don't think they should have the final say
over whether a woman can have an abortion?
Yeah.
Or not?
Or like, yeah, that's just another example.
Who should decide?
I think it should be like a dual like agreement, especially if you're in a relationship.
So if the man says no, then you can't.
Well, I wouldn't say you can't.
So then if you're saying that it has to be two people making the decision, so if it has to be two people and he says no, then you can't.
No, I said that I don't agree with that.
Okay, so then if you say, so then you decide, is what you're saying. So the
no,
woman
I
decides.
don't say that I decide, but he was saying that in every situation, if you have
No, but we're talking specifically about the abortion situation.
Okay,
so if there's a baby in the stomach and he says
not a baby
no,
at that point.
It's a human being at that point. And he says no, and you say yes, who's right?
Me personally,
Okay.
I don't really feel like I would return to sender, so I would agree with him if he said no. But I do feel like
you would agree with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so he gets to decide.
Well, yeah.
This is the problem that keeps coming up though. It's
I don't think he gets to
two people
decide
can't make that sort of decision.
Well, yeah, you're right, but that's I think what he was saying is like if you had to let the man make a decision for you or whatever, are you gonna give him that okay to make the final decision? I said no.
Lots of faces coming over here. I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. Sorry, I cannot control my face. A man can choose to leave a pregnancy and have nothing to do about it. A woman leaving a pregnancy, that becoming a group decision, is insane to me. It's her body, it's her choice. She's the one that's carrying it to term or not. If a man can leave a viable pregnancy because of his desire to leave a pregnancy, then a woman should be able to do the same.
Okay, so men should definitely not be entitled to pay any child support then.
I don't think that's the same argument at all.
Wait, like if it's her decision to kill the baby, then
it's not a baby.
What is it then?
It's an embryo at that point.
When does life begin?
After 4 weeks. Isn't that right?
When does life begin?
It depends where you fall on that spectrum. Yeah.
It's a spectrum? What's the spectrum? Explain it to me.
So an embryo, a zygote, is very different in terms of a baby. When you can hear a heartbeat.
And an adult is different to a baby. So when does life start? That's the question.
It's the cutoff of when you can have an abortion, when you can hear the heartbeat.
Okay, so
whether or not you think abortion should be or should not be is a separate argument. But I'm saying if a man can leave a pregnancy, a woman should be able to do the same.
Just to clarify, your position is that life begins when you can hear a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So you should not be able to have an abortion after the heartbeat.
Yeah, I agree with that.
100% completely illegal, every state, every part of the world to have a heartbeat.
Well, so I think that regardless of if it's legal or illegal, people are going to do it. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. Legalizing it just allows it to be done safer.
Right, I
if
gotcha.
I personally got pregnant, at any point, I could not have an abortion.
So you think that it's more about
is your decision.
It's more about the fact that they can safely kill that baby.
It's not a baby. But yeah.
You just said it starts at heartbeat. That's what you said.
I'm saying you can have an abortion up to the point where you can hear a heartbeat.
Okay, so then after that, you can't have an abortion. Am I correct? In
legally or emotionally?
In your world, after heartbeat, you can't have an abortion. True?
I wouldn't, personally.
No, I'm saying, should it be illegal?
My decision is not their decision.
I'm saying, should it be illegal? I'm not talking about your specific point of view. I'm talking about in terms of whether it should be illegal. At heartbeat, do you think it should be completely legal?
I do, yeah.
Okay. And what is how did you determine that heartbeat is when life begins?
Because when it's an embryo or a petri dish baby or however you fertilize that egg, it's still an egg. It's still an embryo. That is still something that
what do you think
that living, breathing person.
If we had a scientist here, a biologist, who was an expert in this field, the world's foremost expert, what do you think they would tell you about when life begins?
I think that besides the fact that a scientist might say that, science is so devalued in society now because men make the decision based on their emotion and not based on science. Men make the decision based on their emotion? Do you think that women make this decision based on their emotion? I think if it's something that is inside you that you are going to have to carry to term, that is a you decision. It's your
I didn't
body.
ask that. I asked, do you think that women make the decision based on emotion?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well then it equalizes it. But look, can I tell you what the biologist would tell you if they were sitting right here?
You sure can.
They would tell you that life begins at conception.
Sure.
Yeah, it's when the egg is fertilized, it's when the DNA is created.
Right.
So, but you're subjectively going against that. So you don't agree with the scientific
I don't
consensus?
agree that, there are so many instances where a woman should not have to carry that to term. There is instances of things that we probably shouldn't talk about on here, but you should not.
Even in that instance, what if it's after the heartbeat that they want to get rid of the child?
I don't think a woman should have to deal with that emotional baggage.
So you think that they should be able to kill the child?
It's not a child.
Wait, what about this though?
Okay.
No, what about this? What if pro-lifers are actually willing to go ahead and grant that in the instances that you were going to mention,
right.
SA, incest, so forth, they're like, you know what, that's fine. But all the other ones where it's just like, I'm not ready, not financially capable, just don't want it, don't want to birth the child, they have to continue with the pregnancy. Are you fine with that?
Like personally or legally?
What do you mean?
Like I personally, if I were to get pregnant in that scenario, I could not get an abortion emotionally, but I don't think that my choice should be for the.
So you wouldn't get an abortion?
I would not.
In those circumstances.
Okay,
but legally you think like other women should?
I think in general we should be pro-choice because it's a woman's body to do with what she wants.
But what if she wants to do with her body, abort the baby after 6 months?
And you're saying that the man doesn't want to, or just in general that she
in general,
be
everybody
able to
wants
do that?
to. Everybody's super stoked about it.
At
yes,
6 months?
we're going to do it 6 months. Yeah, it's her body.
Oh,
She should be able to do it.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so then it's not about whether it's her body. So what's the actual determining factor?
Which I said several times, the heartbeat.
Okay, but what if they're R worded though?
What if what?
What if they're R worded and then it's at 6 weeks? Just a week after the heartbeat is heard, but the woman was R worded. Yeah, she was raped.
Right.
Yeah, and she wants to get rid of it. Should she be able to?
Yeah.
So you're arguing for murder.
And what?
You're arguing for murder.
I think in instances that we're not talking about, I don't think a woman should ever have to take that to term because that's emotional.
So you're arguing for murder. So if you say that it's a life when the heartbeat starts, and you're arguing to take that life after the heartbeat starts, you're arguing for murder.
Yes, because they also took something from her. That was not her decision. So that then becomes her choice.
Is it emotional baggage to carry the child or to raise the child?
Both.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that's fair to the child either, because it wasn't their fault.
Can
Wait.
I add?
How is it emotional baggage
Hold on.
if that's what we're designed to do? Is we're designed to carry and
You're
give
not
birth
designed to
child?
carry your.
Do you know that
purposes
100?
to term.
Yeah.
Do you know
No.
that 100% of babies that are given up at the hospital get adopted?
I don't think that's
That's
a
a
real
true,
stat.
it's a true fact. 100% of babies who are given up for adoption are adopted. There's a massive,
But
massive waiting line.
100%.
There's a massive
But
waiting
there's
line.
a lot
In the
of
United
if
States.
it was possible to have 100% more, they would also get adopted.
But they have a lot of
not
postpartum
true.
and
It
like
is true.
mental.
What's your
There
claim?
are
How do you say
thousands
that?
of children in the foster system. That's not a true stat at all.
They
I
get
didn't
adopted.
say foster system. I said babies that get adopted from birth from the hospital. 100% of them get
The
adopted.
reason why there are thousands of children in the foster system is because when they get older, it gets harder and harder to adopt them as they get older. But from a baby, they get snapped up straight away.
I have a couple
I'd
questions.
love to see that stat. I don't believe it.
Question: if pregnancy only lasted one day, like you get pregnant and then next 24 hours later you're popping out a kid, would you be in favor of abortion?
Personally, no. I'm not in favor of abortion in general.
Oh,
I'm
well, but you're pro-choice, right?
I am.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, me personally, no. I would not agree with an abortion.
But
ever.
like, okay, but so for other women, if abortion only lasted 24 hours, would you be in favor of allowing women choice in that scenario?
I still think it's a woman's choice what she does with her body.
Okay. It's just like, I know it's a totally hypothetical scenario if like pregnancy lasts one day.
The pregnancy
but, like,
length doesn't determine that for me.
Okay. Well, just curious then, like, so let's say 24 hours before a woman would otherwise give birth to a healthy baby, would you be fine with abortion then?
No, of course not. I said several times at
Oh,
the
but-
heartbeat.
I mean, in the
But then after that, you said that if they had been raped and then
Well,
it
I
was
don't.
a
Yes,
week
in
after.
the instance of grape, absolutely never do I think a woman should have to be forced to do that.
Right.
That
What
is her
about if it
choice.
was a week after and she was having really, really bad depression and like financial issues, life was in complete chaos, and she was like, I just
I
want to get.
still think it's a woman's choice.
Okay.
So then you have no standard. Then you've just contradicted yourself so many times.
I have not. My stance. No, I have not contradicted
You
myself
have.
at all.
You said it's 5 weeks. It becomes a life. You said that it should be illegal after that. You actually said that before, and then I've given
I'm
you.
saying
Then I've given you
never
multiple
agree
situations
with abortion
where.
ever. But I don't think it's my choice to make that determining factor for anybody else. That's a
Okay,
woman's
so
choice
then
to
what
do
Brian's
what
just
she
said
wants to do with
before,
their
if she
body.
wants to abort it, like when it's about to be born, then you have no problem with that because it's her choice.
I don't. Okay. I've said the same thing several times.
I
at the
think
heartbeat.
it's
But
like
that's
her
what we're talking
person.
about. Like you personally wouldn't, but
Yeah.
we're trying to get at, okay, well, like
Should she be
your
able to?
worldview, like should women be able to have an abortion like an hour before they would otherwise give
Of course
birth?
not.
Well,
That's not legal or.
no, but
It is
but,
actually.
Who does? No,
It is
it's-
actually.
It's not.
In some states,
no,
it is.
they're
You
not
have-
going
hold
into
on.
labor and they're going, excuse me, I'd actually like an abortion. And
I
say,
mean, you
"Nobody
can
wants
laugh
an
about it, but
abortion."
it has happened many times actually.
They would never allow that.
I
That's
mean,
absolutely not legal.
It's
No,
yeah,
but
they,
would you
they,
be in
they
favor
do
of-
got to be pretty
sometimes do
embarrassing when
that.
you find
an
out that
hour
they,
before they're going into
Yeah,
labor.
like they
after
just
post-birth
head
abortions.
off, like
There's
Yes.
literally no way.
okay, but
If you
would
found
be
out that
in
it was
favor-
true-
Yeah.
but would you be in favor of women having the choice to do that?
In a normal situation or in a grape situation?
Normal.
No.
Okay, so they should be legally prevented from having an abortion a day before they would otherwise give birth.
I think so, yeah.
And what about
Like at that
what about
point.
3 months before? What about at 6 months? Should the police come
My
in and say
argument
no?
stays the same with
You can't.
the heartbeat.
Your argument is actually very, very inconsistent because you're saying at one point that women shouldn't be able to do it after 5 weeks. It should be illegal. You've said actually very different things many different times. So you said it. You can make faces all you want, or you can just engage with a logical argument if you'd like to as well. But you said it 5 weeks, it should be illegal. We can run back the tape. You said that before.
Right.
And then after that, you said that it should be a woman's choice. Right?
I still think in general it should be a woman's choice. There's situations of SA, there's situations of rape. So
then the heartbeat thing isn't your position.
Can I add something?
Okay, go.
I think that like it's more like after 5 weeks that the heartbeat is formed in her state, that like before that, like from that, when it was a baby, and then from week 5, that from that standpoint is where it should be legal for a woman to have a choice to have an abortion.
Wait, post 5 weeks or pre 5 weeks?
Like before 5 weeks, isn't that
you might even just miss one period and think that it's late at 5 weeks.
Yeah.
You can't get an abortion until 7 weeks.
I don't know what.
Okay,
it's like, is it 4 weeks?
6 weeks.
My sister did not find out she's pregnant until she was 5 months. So I think in the case of
that's awful.
Grape, I think it doesn't matter. I don't think the time period should know, because I think especially if it's like a 12-year-old little girl, how the fuck are they supposed to know?
That's what I'm saying.
What about post birth then? Like just after they're born, it was a victim of.
No.
What about a day before?
Yeah.
They should be able to?
In my opinion, yeah.
Okay, so you're also arguing for murder.
Yes.
Okay.
I can say it.
In any circumstance? Like, because you huh?
With Grape, sorry.
Okay, and so, but like, what if she's just not ready? A day before birth, are you fine with that?
No.
Oh, what? Okay, I guess there's some differentiation there.